who is Ashley McHatton. Can you talk through a typical engagement with a business? When did you first realise that you wanted to be an entrepreneur? How did you get your first customer? Welcome to the JOD Pod, a micro podcast where we interview CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs, authors, and coaches. Today we are joined by Ashley McHatton, founder of Element Image and the host of the Play with Fire podcast. Great to have you with us today, Ashley.
Thank you so much for having me here.
So for those of us who don't know who you are, who is Ashley McHatton?
She's a crazy person. No, I am the owner and founder of Element Image Company. I help businesses clarify their messages and tell better stories.
Awesome. So what do you do? Can you talk through a typical engagement with a business?
Yeah, a lot of businesses come to me I call it not knowing how to talk to the humans anymore. So they're not really sure why their communications aren't working, what's wrong, what they're struggling with. So I look at how they're talking about their businesses, what they're saying, and a lot of times I'm just going through and restructuring what they're already saying to make it better and clearer for us when we're hearing it on the other side. And then from there, it could be, executing websites, social media, internal stuff, but just making sure that message is distributed all throughout all of their marketing efforts.
Fantastic. And when did you first realize that you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
I've probably been doing it since I've had lemonade stands when I was a kid. But the catalyst from leaving my corporate job, which was insurance, which is super exciting. My oldest son was sick. And at the time, I was running ultra marathons for fun. So I had to give that up too because he was super sick. So I had to decide, what did I love about each of those areas and how can I take that going forward and still be available to take care of my kids? And so what I loved about ultra running, what I still love about it, wasn't the running. The running part was not so great. It was the problem solving and hearing people's stories. And so with that, and same with the insurance side, I worked putting together benefit packages for large companies. So it was, again, how to help them stay in business during healthcare reform here in the States. And so I was like, how do I take that and turn that into a business? And I had always done photography, so I picked up a camera, and then pretty soon it's been 8 years now, not 7, 8 years now of helping businesses tell stories. And really what was exciting, what keeps me showing up to it, because it's not always easy, is that there's nothing more intoxicating than being around people that are really excited about what they're doing every day. So I wanted to be around other people that were excited about what they were doing.
That's such a nice way of putting it, as an entrepreneur, telling people's stories. And it's a bit unfair sometimes soaking up other people's energy.
It is. It's super selfish. But I was like, if I'm going to do this every day, and that's, I think the biggest advice too for anybody ever thinking of starting something or pivoting, I think it's the one time you have to be really selfish in a positive way, because you have to show up even when it's really hard. And so why not do something that, again, whether for me it's hearing people's stories and soaking up their energy, but that way when things are not working well, I'm going to keep showing up because I love that more than the hard stuff.
That's fantastic. How did you get your first customer?
So I couldn't give my services away for free. I tried. Nobody wanted it, which I was like, seriously? So then it was, hey, $50, I'll take some pictures of you. And that brought in my first few people. And then from there, the photography side grew to where I could charge $5,000 for a day photo shoot over about the course of a year or two. And then it was, nobody was posting them and doing anything with the pictures or with anything that I made. So because I don't get angry, but when I do, and it takes a while. So I finally got angry enough to said, fine, what if I just do it all for you? And I just decided that I was going to go to talk to 200 businesses over 90 days. And that by the end of that time, I would either sell something, figure out why I wasn't selling something, and then change. And then, but I got yeses right away. So it was like 11 yeses in a row. And it was literally door knocking. So it was a combination. My very first ones were, couldn't give it away for free. So I charged, which was an interesting thing to learn. And then after that, when I was ready to grow and expand, it was all the sales stuff, the door knocking stuff, because I'd already combed through my social media following at that time.
You were actually door knocking?
Literally walked down the street. Went down the street, went into every restaurant, business, any place that I was like, this would be a fun business to work with. I would go into there until they said yes. And everybody's like, oh, it's so easy for you. I was like, no, no, it's not. But it's like, do I want this to work or not?
There's such an interesting mix there, isn't there, between, you're selling social media services and content services. And we're guilty for this, is you try and sell it online. Mm-hmm. But actually the people who need your services are offline. Mm-hmm. So going door to door actually is quite an interesting method of winning that kind of business.
Well, it is. And you say it like that. And I was like, oh, of course it was obvious. But I just knew that I could get a yes much faster and build a relationship faster if I was in person. Or even on the phone with somebody. It's harder to say no when they're right there. It's easy to say no online.
Yeah.
So to me, I was like,
I bet you must be great face to face as well, though, working with people.
Oh, I mean, hello, we're here, right? So I can figure people out fast. I used to bartend in college, so it's like I could read a room pretty quickly, and I know to be able to look at somebody's body language and say, okay, this isn't working, they're not interested. Or again, they all knew that they needed to be online because radio was dying. Yellow Pages was no longer a thing. So I said, and for some of them, I was like, I'll do it for you for free for 30 days. I'm like, let me just show you that this will work for you. And within 2 weeks, they were already cutting me a check. So it was just, what am I willing to do to make my business work?
An actual check?
An actual check. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Lots of actual checks, which is, again, it was interesting because I'm paperless. So I was like, what do I do with this? But yeah.
That's awesome. So what are you working on at the moment, Ashley?
So at the moment, I've been, because of the pandemic, a lot of businesses now are finally getting online for the first time. They knew it was a thing, but now they're scrambling to. So for the last year, I've been going in as somebody's fractional chief marketing officer. So like a lot of companies come in there and help me run their whole strategy. And then the other part of that is just consulting, just giving people basics of how to get online. Those are my main things. And then running my podcast and then creating, actually relaunching a course that I had back in 2017. So, because for the same reason that it's time to get online for a lot of people for the first time, to make it not a difficult or scary thing. That's what I've been helping people with.
So what would be your ideal customer for Ashley? What would they look like?
Oh, what would they look like? Fun? Smiley? No. My ideal customer looks like, I tend to work with a lot of, it's not any one niche. It's people that are also like active on the side, that are very driven. They usually have a big vision and a crazy dream, and they're just trying to figure out how to, I call it MacGyver, how to take all of the seemingly random pieces and, make it work. So those are my favorite clients because I understand shiny object syndrome. And so, you give me duct tape and a paperclip and a scrambled egg, and we can make something amazing out of that. So usually it's somebody like that. And then of course, just ones that are already doing well, and just trying to figure out how to make it better. So like, what's the next level? And for larger companies, it's actually not communicating externally. It's a lot of times it's telling good stories and content with their teams to get their teams motivated and to be excited to show up for work and feel connected to what they're doing every day.
Fantastic. I love the MacGyver reference.
Well, I'm glad.
I'm not sure everybody.
I know. I was like, wow, I'm mixing old now.
But I do like MacGyver, so that's okay. Didn't they relaunch MacGyver?
I don't know.
A new guy. I liked Evil MacGyver. Do you remember Evil MacGyver?
I don't remember Evil MacGyver.
Like he had a nemesis that had like all the same skills. Same paperclip skills. True. I'll dig it out.
Oh, I'll look for it.
Are you ready for some quickfire questions?
Yeah, ready.
What's your favourite app or SaaS product at the moment?
My favorite app is going to be a social media one. It's TikTok.
Why is it TikTok, Ashley?
I freaking love it. What I love about it as a tool for businesses, because is that it lets you practice telling a story or a message really clearly in a minute or less. So I love it for that exercise, and I love to see all the creative ways people are using it. And it's a really lovely distraction when I don't feel like working. So for both sides of the coin, it's my favorite.
Sometimes dangerous, but I think there's some interesting things coming out of it.
Yeah, 100%.
I saw the White House did a thing where they were trying to answer questions in 15 seconds.
I didn't see that. That sounds interesting.
I'm a bit, it was like trying to be serious, but in a short period of time. TikTok, cool. What's your most recommended book?
My most recommended book would be Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. That's the one I would probably recommend the most because it helps people that are not finding success with messaging, teaches them kind of where to get started. It's a good foundational book.
And who is your favorite YouTuber or podcaster at the moment?
Oh, my favorite YouTuber would be Peter McKinnon.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. Everything he does is just really beautiful and well put together, and his personality is really fun. And then favorite podcaster would have to be you.
Well, this has not been even released yet, and you're saying I'm your favorite podcaster.
All right. Okay,
so that is awesome.
And then after you, I would say it's Chase Jarvis, who runs a company called Creative Live. I love Chase.
Creative Live is such an interesting business model.
It is. It's interesting to see how they've been pivoting too. So I like to look at them for ideas and inspiration as well.
That's awesome. Thanks, Ashley. Who do you think is going to be the next Elon Musk or Denise Coates, the CEO of Bet365?
Oh, the next Elon Musk. I don't know. I don't think they're on the radar yet. I think it's somebody that's probably quietly doing something that's just going to seemingly pop out of nowhere.
So they're a college student, or
heck, it could be my son doing homeschooling. Yes, they're doing something that they haven't put together the pieces yet. But once they do, it's gonna they'll seemingly come out of nowhere.
And where's the best place for listeners, people that are watching this, to find you and interact with you online?
Instagram, or you can find me at the playwithfirepodcast.com.
Awesome. Thanks, Ashley.
Thank you.
There we have it. Ashley, founder of Element Image and the host of the Play with Fire podcast. Ashley managed to get her first customer by going door to door and got the first 11 customers going door to door. That's incredibly good. I've done door to door. That's very, very tough. Ashley's favourite app is TikTok. Most recommended book is Building a Story Brand by Donald Miller. Ashley loves watching Peter McKinnon on the YouTube and listening to Chase Jarvis on the podcasts. And the next Elon Musk, Ashley thinks, is hiding quietly, learning under the radar, and we're going to have to find them somehow. And you can find out more from Ashley by heading to Instagram and following elementimage.co. We'll link to that in all the show notes, all of that information there. Ashley, thanks for joining us on the JOD Pod.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for joining us on today's JOD Pod for the interview with Ashley. To ensure you don't miss any of these episodes, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, bang the bell, which is down there somewhere. And if you've got any questions for me or Ashley, leave them in the comments below and we'll be sure to get back to each and every single one of them. Go build something and inspire the next generation. Thanks for joining us on the JOD Pod. If you enjoyed this interview, why don't you check out some of these other interviews that we've done on the JOD Pod. More inspirational CEOs, coaches, entrepreneurs, founders, and authors. I'm sure there's something here that will inspire you to build something new.